What is up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel. The last few days, we've been breaking down lots of coverage tips to help you guys out in the post-patch world. So as you guys know, last week, we basically saw a blowtorch get taken to the entire defensive meta in this year's game, and we are out on our own to find new defenses. Now, the good news is, over on gridirongameplans.gg, we have not been patched. In fact, we are as strong as ever between the coverage tips, some of which I have broken down here, but not nearly to the degree that I've broken down over on the website, but also in terms of the front that we are running here on defense. And I'm going to give you guys a tiny morsel of all of the content that you guys can find, and we're going to give you guys a blitz scheme out of the big nickel over G. If you guys want more, head over to Gridiron. $9.95 a month unlocks the entire website. You can get the rest of the blitzes for this particular game plan, install the match coverage rules, do all the things you need to do to get more stops. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. We are going to be talking about a gap pressure from interior linebacker, as well as a looping edge pressure out of the big nickel over G that can sometimes either give you free rush from the linebacker around a twist, or give you guys gap penetration from your interior pass rushers. So let's go ahead and call a play, any play, doesn't matter. And we are going to set up this universal blitz formula. Now, the reason that I really like this defense is that with us being a coverage focus, we can drop coverage over and over. And when our opponent gets into a lull of kind of just sending 5 guys out every single time, we can pick our moment and the sack is free. This is a big time difference in approach to defense compared to before the patch, where people basically blitzed 5 every down out of every formation, or blitz 6 in some formations, just to constantly get your opponents paranoid that pressure is coming. Right now, it's about picking the moment and getting the pressure. So let's start off with our A gap pressure. With this particular look, we are going to base align the defense. We are going to go ahead and pinch our defensive line, crash them up, and then we are simply going to blitz the linebacker through the A gap. From here, you're going to user the other linebacker, and what I like to do is get the pass rush points over his head. So you see here that when we are usering, there's no green bars over his head, but when we take a step closer to the line, those green bars appear. This is kind of that signal that the offensive line is looking at you and wants to target you. When that ball is snapped, you will see that this is going to give you the A gap pressure off of the right side. Now, depending on how far you want to go with this, you could even tap up the left tackle with your user, which can even free up the defensive end around the edge, making this into a double pressure. But you see that our presence being near the line on the left side makes the center open up to the left side, which opens up the right A gap for our depth rusher. Depth rushing is one of the best ways to get pressure post-patch right now in Madden 24, so you guys are going to want to lab your pressures. Now, as I've mentioned, Gridiron Game Plans has a ton of content, some of which is found in the Chicago Bears defensive game plan, which is going to break down my big nickel over G in addition to this YouTube video. But right now I am actually in the Las Vegas Raiders defense, combining our new 2-4-5 defensive game plan, where I go into crazy detail on how to get insane pass rushes. This is going to get you guys disengage gap pressure from interior linemen. This is going to get you guys free B gap pressure, double pressures, blitz heavy fronts that are going to be really hard to block. You guys are going to be able to utilize all of the coverage tips that are on the website. So now let's go ahead and break down how to get other pressures out of this. So we obviously showed you guys how to get that A gap pressure out of the linebacker. What we're going to do now is show you guys a little bit of a linebacker and twist stunt that can confuse the defense. So once again, here we are going to pinch the defensive line. We are going to base align to bring our linebackers in the box. One of the things that a lot of players don't know about over G this year is that when you baseline and show blitz, it walks your linebackers down into a nice depth, which is not too close to the line of scrimmage, but it is close enough where the pass rush bars that we just mentioned are over the linebackers' heads. And what we're going to do is we are going to crash the defensive line inside, and we are going to blitz the linebacker right here, Warner. And you're going to see that he performs a twist. Basically, what this is the defensive end is going to crash hard inside. Warner is going to loop around him. The goal here is, once again, to make the center look at us and make it so that way we could get some sort of pressure off of the left side. So if you want to take it a step further and kind of come down here in the box, you can make that center open up, and you see that the pocket really does collapse really fast on this. The reason is that the offensive line is now coded to concede ground a little bit more. So you notice that the interior blockers do actually kind of back up a little bit, which is a little different than what we're used to. But again, depending on where you stand with this could change the way that the offensive line targets. You see that double pressure kind of occurred right there. Our defensive end came in through the B gap. a right defensive tackle really collapse the pocket. This is not necessarily going to be a crazy gap pressure that's going to come in right away. But again, the way it kind of collapses the pocket is something very nice. I mean, you see right here, we basically got left B gap plus right A gap, rushing 5 here on this. And of course, we could drop into match, we could drop into cover 2, zone drops, man coverage blitz with this. Whatever it is you want to do, it's going to be up to you with this particular approach. So that is zone blitzing out of the big nickel over G. There is a lot more to this. There are disengage pressures in my Bears game plan. There are all kinds of gap pressures that you guys can look at, nickel corner, safety stuff. We've got so much more than just the generic stuff I showed right here. But if you guys like this video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. And if you guys want more, make sure you guys go over to Gridiron where I have the rest of the story. Until this afternoon with our next YouTube short, or tomorrow with our next long form update, this is Zan. Hit the lab and good luck.